Yo, what's good? What's happening? We back. Brand new episode of Threes from the Ring podcast. It's your boy Chris J. Glad to be back. Got the boy Tyler here after his 2-week IR hiatus. He's back. First episode for him on this new year.
Yes, Happy New Year. Happy New Year. Good to be back. Good to be back podding this year. Let's get to it.
All right. First and foremost, TikTok is back. TikTok is back.
TikTok debacle was a farce.
Look, that was a political glazing of Trump, man. If you look, man, all I'm gonna sit there and say is TikTok is what y'all $1,200. TikTok was y'all stimmies. So you was that fool who said, hey man, I was happy for $1,200. TikTok was your $1,200 for Trump this
year. Now use it and make some real money if you knowledgeable enough.
Exactly. But y'all some fools, man. That's all I'm gonna say in regards to that. Y'all
also proves my theory. Well, may not necessarily prove it, but it adds fuel to the fire for my theory of a certain attempt that went on last year.
Hey, publicity, man. And doing whatever publicity and all of that, and it is what it is. But either way, follow our TikTok page, UTM Clips. Tweeking Media, UTM Clips, for any clips of all our pods and all of that. So check that out. And of course, you watching us on YouTube, like, comment, subscribe to the YouTube channel. Hey man, we've been growing, so shout out to our new subscribers, new viewers of the pod. We appreciate you guys. We love you guys. Much love, much appreciation on the real speak. But yeah, so also follow us on Twitter at Threes from the Ring, and check out the Facebook page as well. I'm gonna get more active on the Facebook and Instagram page as well because we thought TikTok was gonna die. So I'll start uploading on those sites as well. But let's go ahead and get into the show. But before we actually do get into what we actually normally pod about, let me get a quick ISO, G. So there we go. Right. A little ISO, man. Look, oftentimes we don't talk about football on this podcast, G. We don't. And with that said, this has been the past 24 hours, man, was as a Bears fan and an Ohio State Buckeyes fan, glorious. Just glorious, G. Last year the Bears got our franchise quarterback. Salute to my boy Justin, but hey man, Caleb, that guy, painted nails and all. Then this year, after the Detroit Lions get eliminated, the number one coaching candidate that was available, Ben Johnson says, you know what? Going to Chicago, man. I'm going to go ahead and give me some real pizza, some deep dish, some square cut pizza. He said, you know what? I need some Italian beef. I need Italian ice. I need a gyro sandwich on pita and my nigga. He said, I need all of that, man. And above all, I'm going to be y'all head coach, man. Beautiful feeling, G. You don't understand, G. Niggas tried to say that Tom Brady was gonna flash his 7 rings and he's gonna be like, I'm gonna go coach Aidan O'Connell. You don't know who Aidan O'Connell is. Thank God that you don't watch football. Or you're a Raiders fan, or you just a diehard football fan like your boy. But with that said, y'all tried to sell that. But no, that nigga said, I'm gonna coach Caleb, the prodigal son of the city, G. Prodigal son. Ben and Caleb's going to save me. They're going to bring me joy. They're going to bring me peace on Sundays, G. They will. Bears back, man. Bears back. Anyway, then Ohio State Buckeyes literally put Notre Dame on a cross. And literally pinned them niggas, G. They gave them a little hope in the fourth quarter. But pinned them niggas, G, to the cross. It was beautiful, G. Don't deny my Buckeyes, G. Ryan Day, you only got one thing you got to do, and that's beat them punk-ass niggas in Michigan, G. That's all you got to do, and your resume is goated. But you gave me a national championship.
Wasn't Ryan Day on the hot seat too?
Yes, because he kept losing to freaking Michigan. So with that said,
yeah, I remember them talking about he was on the hot seat.
I wanted that man. I wanted that man's job. That man was supposed to be an Amazon driver the next day, G. But guess what? He rallied the troops and said, "You know what? We're going to beat Tennessee. We're going to beat Oregon. We're going to beat Texas, and we're going to put Notre Dame on the cross." It was beautiful, G. It was beautiful. My Buckeyes, we them real ones, G. Real ones forever, G. My Bears, we back. We back, G. We back, G. But all right, with that all said, let's go ahead, get back to the normal scheduled program of this show. We talk ball here, and we're gonna go straight to basketball first, because honestly, basketball is in its interesting point. Pretty much, we're at the midpoint of the season, so we're gonna give our mid-season thoughts on various things that's going on. Tyler, you've been away the longest, so I know you got plenty you need to say, so I'll let you go.
We still on non-Lakers talk, correct?
No, we can talk about the Lakers now.
Okay, they still suck.
That's 6 seed, man.
It's a fake 6 seed. They can lose that.
Look at the standings of the West. It doesn't make a difference. The West is a war zone. The fact that they in the playoffs and still holding on to the 6 seed is saying something. Can't say it's fake, G, because that means the next team up is fake.
I just don't believe. I've been off the Lakers though. I'm kind of just tired of trying to make sense of what they're trying to do. It's like it's not happening.
Look, perfect world scenario, they just need to find a backup center. That's all it is. But other than that, they are exactly what every other team that isn't. Well, any other team that isn't OKC, and honestly, the Rockets. They're good, but they're not great.
Yeah. But like overall, it's been a lot of decent basketball being played recently, though. A lot of people beginning to slap too.
Oh yeah,
we've seen a couple 40 pieces within the first 3 weeks of the new year. We probably seen at least 5. I've watched maybe like 3 of them. Three teams getting pieced by like 40.
Hey, look, man. Once you down by 30, I'm cutting the game off. The fact you kept it on, salute.
I needed something to go to sleep to. I get off late.
It's crazy. But
I don't know. It's teams are it's certain teams that I believe after this All-Star break, obviously they're gonna kick it up a notch. There's certain teams that need to shut it down. Like now, like it's over with. Like the Sixers, like are cooked. Like it's really nothing they could do. The Sixers are in a situation where Joel Embiid and Paul George are just not healthy enough to string together games where that are worth a damn. And to even if they do somehow make it to like a play-in spot, they win a play-in game. Guess who you see in first round? It's not a good sight either way.
Either Cleveland or the Celtics.
To be honest, for once, I would rather see the Bulls finally make the playoffs and play somebody again.
See, this shows you wasn't doing your job in the previous episode.
And that's if they don't blow it up by the trade deadline,
which they should.
They should, because there's teams that need a couple of them players. Specifically, Zach. Zach is still a piece that can push specific teams back into the spot they need to be, like the Nuggets. You put him over there, he potentially puts them. He's damn near punching a ticket again. But yeah, I just think Philly is in a spot where they just go ahead and shut it down for the season. It's not because you already came out and said that you kind of shot yourself in the foot at the beginning of the season, announcing that your 2-star players are not playing back to backs. Joel Embiid has been hurt. It's not worth trying to force them. Paul George is at the point where he's playing center, talking about he's bored, but they really putting you there so you don't have to guard nobody on the wing and get cooked because you can't make no lateral movements with that Stone Cold Steve Austin knee brace.
You're not in a place of good centers, G.
And they missing centers too, so that's another reason why they got him there.
That's a damn shame. Like, really, to me, that's like, gee, what did Paul? I didn't even know they were playing Paul George. So I just know Philly been so bad that
I don't think they're not like starting him at center or nothing like that. But he's in possessions where he has to fill in some center minutes,
which is crazy because, like, okay, just using the East, that means he's been points in the season, at least probably. Let's just put it the past couple of weeks. Matter of fact, let's look at who they played the past couple of weeks. Let's just have some fun with this. All right, who has Philly played recently? Because, like I said, I haven't watched them niggas ass. Let's see, who has they played recently? The past couple of weeks. All right, it is so they played their last game. Damn, they is playing Jokic tonight, but guess what? Embiid ran from the grind. That's what I was, which I'm gonna get to later. But they played the Bucks on a couple days ago. The Bucks have Giannis is technically a center. Brook Lopez. Okay. The 18th they played the Pacers. Miles Turner. Okay. New York they played the Knicks and of course Cat. OKC really don't have a center. I think Hartenstein was out around this time. The Magic really don't have a center. The Pelicans, they have a young center, but Yavis Messi or something like that. But he's still young. The Wizards, Valanciunas. Okay, so just the past couple of weeks, they haven't really played many teams with centers. But just looking up who they have next. Cleveland.
You got to deal with Mobley and Allen.
Jared Allen, like I said, the best front court in the league, arguably right now. The Bulls, Vooch been playing. Get me the hell up out of here, ball. The Lakers, like I said,
bro, they have just lost. They literally have lost all of their games outside. The only game they won in the month of January was against the Wizards. No, Wizards, Brooklyn. That's it.
That's it.
They just been losing.
Like I said, who else? Like I said, they
play
the Lakers at the end of the month. Like I said, if Embiid ain't playing, more than likely AD gonna go crazy. You got Sacramento. Sabonis gonna have a triple-double. You see Jokic again, and watch Embiid play that one because media gonna talk shit about him. But like this, the thing, like I was saying, like I feel like there's so many. At least every team has a respectable center right now. At the bare minimum, you have a respectable center. And you tell me Paul George is playing meaningful minutes at the 4. I mean at the 5.
That's what it's been coming out to. Because I think what's the name? I think Drummond has been out, and I think they got a rookie center, but they might as well give them the playing time. Give all them young dudes some playing time.
Pretty much. That's really like.
Because again, it's like you're not playing for nothing this season. All season is cooked.
It really is. Like their season is really cooked. Like, and even though, let me look at these. Like they only 11, but let's just put it this way: you're hoping that the Bulls sail. If the Bulls sail, and say Embiid just gets a stroke of health after the trade deadline,
okay, he usually plays good against the Bulls.
I know, but no, I'm just saying, looking at the standings now, if you're hoping that the Bulls choose to sail, which they should either way. Zach and Vooch got to be gone. But so you got to bank on Embiid being healthy for the second half of the season. On top of that, Detroit is playing good basketball. Miami, depending on what they get for Jimmy. And Orlando slowly getting healthy again. So you're in a play-in battle against them. Arguably, you'd be the best team in a play-in, but at the same time, you're not healthy. The question of health, because like you could still get to that 10th seed because the Bulls is 19.
Yeah, like I think it's conceivable that they could still make it in through play-in, but it's like what would be the point?
Yeah. Like,
now, obviously, you know, I'm not saying to just completely like quit, like still play basketball, but I'm talking about like as far as like your guys, like as long as Tyrese Maxey is healthy, obviously keep playing him because you know let him get his money's worth. But like with Paul George and specifically Joel Embiid, it's like just shut him down because he didn't got hurt damn near twice now. He had the face injury and then something else had happened.
Well, he played through the face injury. Like you just do.
I just don't think the rest of the season is worth it for them. They need to try to get healthy for next year because in all seriousness, they really could be a top team going into next season as long as they relatively healthy.
That's the thing. You have to play the relatively healthy line with them.
Yeah,
and to be honest, this is the thing that frustrates me with them. Especially like Embiid, the way people been giving AD hell just for missing a game or two, they don't do that enough with Embiid, G.
Yeah, and it's like they came out and said, like, I'll give the Lakers some credit. They ain't never came out and said, like, Anthony Davis isn't playing such and such games unless he's legitimately hurt. Like, if he legitimately can't get to the court to play, then he's not playing. But they're not coming out and saying, you know, he's not playing back-to-backs. He's not playing road games or something like that.
But this is the crazy thing. I think the past 2 seasons, AD has been fairly healthy.
Yeah, he's definitely been healthier than Embiid.
Hold on, like I'm about to look it up right now because I feel like he's been relatively.
Like last year, didn't he? Last year he played like the most game he's played like in a long time, like in his career.
Hold on, I'm about to look it up right now. Yeah, last year he played 76 games.
Yeah, 76. That's pretty damn good.
Like that means he only missed 6 games.
Yeah.
Like so,
I don't think he's missed that many this season.
Yeah, and this season, I believe he's missed like 3, maybe 4 games. Like maybe at most 5. I could say maybe 5. He missed 5 at most, but he's been fairly healthy this season. So like this season, and then even the year before, like he missed a few games, but those were legit injuries, you know. But like he's been relatively healthy this year and last year. Meanwhile, y'all boy, formerly my boy, because he's salute. Look, we've been running from the grind. We've been running from Jokic on American soil. I'll be specific. He ain't run from Jokic in the Olympics, but on American soil, National Basketball Association courts, he's been ducking that nigga. I don't like that. I don't like that at all. Like, gee. They said
none of the other top centers duck him. Cat plays against him.
Cat be working him low key.
And I ain't necessarily saying that he afraid of the competition or whatever, but it's like you look shady, bro. Like why you not playing against him?
Like gee,
or like you only play the Philly home game when he come.
Like I said, and that's a couple weeks, and that's in another next week, I believe, at the end of the month. So with that said, this is my issue. This is my specific issue with this nigga. You ducking this nigga. They said like there was I think on ESPN. No, it wasn't ESPN because they wouldn't say this. On Twitter, somebody said the last time this nigga played Embiid, Tom Brady was still on the fucking Patriots.
God damn.
Tom Brady was still on the Patriots, G. Do the math. That's how long it's been. That's disgusting.
Yeah, That's
Mitchell
a long time,
Trubisky
bro.
is still my quarterback.
Yeah, that's a long time, bro.
Like, gee, that is insane. So with that said, you ducking this man, G, on American soil. What are we doing here, G? You gotta prove that you better than this nigga, which you're not at this point, because yo. But let AD be ducking Jokic. Let Cat be ducking Jokic. Bro, we wouldn't hear the
AD be cooking when he plays against Jokic.
Look, they be cooking each other, G. It's just Jokic just start be freaking twirling the ball and then go in and be like, what do you want me to do? What do you want me to do?
But the point is, they're competing against each other. That's the whole point. Is to go out and compete. You can't claim to be this, that, and the third and all-time. Did they rank Joel Embiid a top 75 or anything like that? I can't remember.
No. Hell no. He hasn't done. At that time, he wasn't even credited. They gave AD the credit and people was mad, but I get why AD gets the credit, but even I thought that was a stretch, but come on, man. But AD the greatest.
Either way, like the way he talks about himself, it's like, you're not finna tell me you a top center all time and you duck, your competition.
Yeah, like
for whatever reason.
Like me and Daytra said, Jokic is either another MVP or one more championship, one of the two. And he in the top 10 conversation. And I know who I'm kicking out. And people are going to be very mad at who I kick out. RIP to folks. But that's all.
Hey man, my stance on him ain't changing. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Hey, look, man, that's all.
But I feel you though. I feel the conversation though.
Look, man, all y'all can sit there and say, "Look at he got rings on one hand." I'm gonna be real honest.
But no, that's a real conversation though. Like, cause we've been, I can't remember when we talked about. I think it was sometime at the end of last year. We were talking about like what players in this era, has the potential to crack top 10. By the time their career is over, or depending on how many accolades they got right now, do they crack it right now? And really, it's only like not counting like a Steph, a KD, like out of this era, like. Yeah, really, when you think about it, it's only Jokic and Giannis, if you want to tell the truth.
Yeah, and the funny thing is, it's insane how much we're at the point we underrate Giannis.
Giannis has had, I think his numbers are up from his MVP season too. He's having a really good season.
Yes. He's having a really amazing.
And they not mentioning Giannis in the MVP conversation at all.
Doc Rivers effect, but
nasty.
Like Giannis is actually having a very outstanding season. The fact that Giannis is underrated now is insane. That just shows how good Jokic is, but also how the media really just stopped glazing Giannis too. Because you could arguably say Giannis is solid number 2.
Yeah, for sure.
He don't get treated as such. He don't get treated as such. Like, and it's crazy when you think about it. Giannis is really number 2, and he don't get talked about. We talk more about Shea. We talk about we still
rightfully
talk about
so though.
Yeah, rightfully so. We still talk about like Bron, Steph, and KD, of course, rightfully so. Shit, we're talking about Embiid, bro. Come on, man.
Yeah.
And of course, like, yeah, Wemby, because look, Wemby, one more year. Y'all got one more year. Y'all got one more year. Y'all got one more. So, but even then, Giannis is really, the fact that Giannis is having one of the most underrated seasons that isn't getting talked about. We're only talking about Giannis is because, hey, we feel like the Bucks is underachieving. And if I'm correct, I think the Bucks is the 4th seed right now. Hold on, let me look at the stand. Hold on. Them niggas is the 4th seed. Come on, man. They won the in-season tournament. Nobody can. Well, of course, nobody people fake care about fake. I wouldn't say they downplayed it in the in season tournament. Gee, they still won it.
Yeah, they still won.
And yeah, they had the bad stretch of basketball afterwards, but gee, they still the 4th seed in the East. In the East, the top 4 of the East is really legit.
Yeah,
each 4 of them teams is legit. I still believe the Bucks need to make a move by Chris Middleton, but hey, I think like they should be there. Like Giannis is having a great season.
Giannis is having. What can I compare this to? Giannis is having a 1993 Jordan season when Barkley won MVP, but they got to the finals and got mopped.
Pretty much. Because it was like Jordan in 93 was raw as hell. Yeah. Look, you sit there, but it's like, hey, that boy Chuck, though. What you doing over there?
And not to say that Chuck didn't deserve it, but it's Jordan. It's Jordan.
Exactly. It's Mike. You know, it was voters fatigue. But yeah. But also another team I want to talk about. Hey man, shout out to the Pistons. But I'm just happy for Cade Cunningham. G. I'm glad Cade Cunningham getting this.
Happy for Monty Williams too, because they definitely thought they
Monty Williams is gone.
Wait, who's their coach?
What's his name? JB Bickerstaff. G. Monty Williams is coaching his son in high school.
Oh damn, my bad.
Yeah.
But yeah, the Pistons is having a really good season too. A very improved season.
Yeah, very improved, but like I'm just happy to see Cade Cunningham getting his flowers. I'm glad for one he's healthy because I think he's had significant injuries the past couple of years, unfortunately. But like he's been balling, G. Like shout out to my boy Cade because like I was very high on Cade when he got drafted. But like he's been hooping. Like he's been hooping, and Detroit itself has been looking really solid. They're that type of team where, like, yeah, if they make the playoffs because they in the play-in hunt right now, but if they make the playoffs, and I'm the Celtics or the Cavaliers, I'm about to get annoyed.
Yeah, that's gonna be slight sweat.
Yeah, I'm gonna be annoyed because young niggas that never won before, never been here before, they can be annoying sometimes. And they got a annoying, scrappy team. They got the right vets. Tobias Harris, regardless how we feel about him getting his paper, solid player. Solid player if he's playing, he's in the correct role. Tim Hardaway Jr., solid player as well.
I told people that too. It was just the situation he was in Philly. They wanted him to be more than what he was.
Yeah, pretty much. They got one of the Thompson twins. He's been solid. Look, man. I don't want to sit there and say they have a squad. G. I don't know if they're gonna make a significant move. I know the people were saying that they should get Zach LaVine, which, hey, that's another bucket.
It's nice, but it don't. For them, I don't think it moves the needle that much. Zach still needs to. I still believe he needs to go to a team that's contending.
Yeah, I agree.
Or at least on the cusp of contending.
Nah, I feel you. But overall, the Pistons, they've been, like I said, they've been really good, man. So I'm happy to see it. I'm more happy to see it. What you say?
They trying to escape the mid, man. Gotta applaud them for that. A lot of teams ain't escaping the mid.
Escaping the mid is crazy. It's really crazy.
This team's running in mid forever.
Hey, but hey, any other things you want to discuss or?
As far as current NBA, outside of like the trade rumors and stuff, like I still don't know if Jimmy gets moved. I kind of almost believe he doesn't get moved. I think they're gonna be kind of petty and wait till the summer and do whatever. It's like it's silly on both sides. Because Jimmy didn't handle it well. I feel like the franchise didn't have to come out with those series of tweets.
Well,
but both of them, I feel like both sides pushed. I feel like both sides pushed each other to that point. So,
no, like I said, I agree with you. Like me and Trail been saying, I just feel logic. It just makes sense for him to go.
Like to get rid of the headache of the whole situation. You definitely need to trade him. Like, it's just prolonging it isn't going to help it.
Yeah, like I agree.
But the franchise is within their right to do it.
Mm-hmm. It's just for me personally. It's just like me and Datra have been saying the past couple weeks on the pod. It's just you have to let it go. Get what you can for him. Now I did see a report that Miami is being very active more in terms of trying to trade him, because look, just as petty as Miami, Pat Riley can be, Jimmy is too.
Yeah, and it's only going to fuel his fire even more the longer you keep him.
Exactly. So it's just let him go. I did read a report that they're trying to see a multi-team trade. So we'll see what can potentially happen in regards to that. Like we said earlier in the season with the new CBA rules, it makes it extremely tough to trade these superstars. These max contracts is tricky to trade. So you will have to do a multi-team trade just to make shit work, unfortunately. But yeah. So anything else? Oh, and then Bradley Beal. That who's been I won't say he's been benched. Who's been now the sixth man. He's open to waiving his no trade clause. Once again, Brad, I've been saying this when he first got that contract. Why does that man have a no trade clause? Why? Why does he have a no trade clause? But Bradley Beal's open to being traded. So another thing when it comes to that, I'm still a firm believer. Just trade KD. Trade KD. I think you get more for KD than you can from Bradley Beal. You can make. I feel a Bradley Beal and Book duo works compared to Bradley Beal, KD. I mean a KD Booker deal. I mean a duo. Just to me personally. But
I feel you. I did think like initially like the KD trade was kind of to Phoenix was kind of weird, but it's like with KD, like he's a plug and play player type of player too. Like he fits with almost anybody you put him with. It's just whether or not the rest of the team, fits with the whole makeup. So I definitely feel that. I don't know. I kind of do like him with Book though, but at this point it's more likely not going to be KD. But I think they're saying that if he opens up that and waives his no trade clause, they would probably still have to do a multi-team trade to ship him off too.
Yep. So,
because I think even if you send him to the Bucks, I think some of the other aspects has to match up with it as well. Because I think you could trade, like contract wise, I think you could kind of trade him for Middleton and maybe one other player. But I think they have to.
I can't have if I'm Milwaukee, I can't have a backcourt that features Dame and Bradley Beal, bro. I can't. I'm sorry.
I don't really like the idea myself. I feel like that's where I wanted Bradley Beal to go before Dame came into the picture. That made more sense.
It definitely did.
But now it's like kind of do the Dame. Obviously, Dame is still a point guard, but they kind of do the same thing scoring wise.
Yes,
both can still move out the ball pretty well. But
I ain't trying to work.
I don't know. It looked like a 2K trade again to me, bro.
Yeah, it's a very 2K trade. That's why I say you can send them elsewhere. Like once again, if a multi-team trade is occurring, good luck. Mm-hmm. But
I think they said Phoenix has a lot of picks too.
No, they don't have picks. Remember, they traded for KD, lost a fair amount of picks. You trade for Bradley Beal, lost another set of picks. They need to recoup. That's what they need to do. Oh yeah, so before we move on, your thoughts on Zion?
He did something else within the last 3 days.
Well, no, I just wanted your thoughts because you haven't been here.
Oh well, because it's been a lot going on with Zion lately, bro. I definitely think it's time for this partnership needs to end immediately. The Pelicans and Zion relationship, it just ain't clicking. Obviously when he's on the floor, he's still box office, as Stephen A would say. He's still he's a very puts asses in seats player. They showing up to see Zion, but I think I don't know, the Pelicans as a franchise is just weird. I just don't think that even if Zion was playing consistently, I just don't think they have enough to compete. Like, I like CJ, I like Trey Murphy. Another player that I think needs to come off of there is DeJounte Murray. I never understood that trade. I don't understand why he got traded.
DeJounte's he's not a scoring type point guard. He prefers to be the playmaker. He just really
right, but
and if you have CJ McCollum,
who did Atlanta get for him?
Nothing worth a damn. Or at least if they get was probably them niggas that Jalen Johnson and Dyson Daniels niggas.
But going back to Zion, I just think it's time they got to find options and move on.
Okay,
it's like I'm not mad at them. So when he got suspended that one game for missing the team flight or meeting or whatever he missed or whatever, I'm not mad at the franchise for that, but I don't think he should have got suspended because you get fined for that already, right?
Well, the thing is, they said he had a history of just being late with flights and stuff like that too.
Right. Well, if it's a built up history, then I guess that did warrant a fine and a suspension.
Yeah.
But that's another thing on him. It's like, you got to take this shit seriously, bro. You a star, but you haven't done nothing.
Well, he can't be healthy for besides healthy in front of a plate. So.
Yeah, I'm just kind of I'm off Zion until he loses weight and starts taking it seriously to keep himself in shape. Like, seriously, like, we going on year what? 5?
6 or 7?
4? 6 or 7?
7.
He's been in the league almost 7 years already.
Yes. I believe the trade it was 2018. No, wait, 2019. Yeah, 2019.
Come on, bro. What are we doing? You wasting your own time. Like, yeah, you getting paid handsomely right now, but you haven't done nothing to cement yourself in like the upper echelon of NBA players in this era, to be honest. Like, you really haven't. And it's a shame because he's so freaking talented. Like, Zion is really good at basketball when he's on that floor. Like, he does a lot of things that a lot of players in this league can't do, or he might be able to do. He's like a Swiss Army knife. He can do all of them while only one person in the league could do, one of the things that he does. But it's like, I don't know. He don't take the game seriously enough. He don't take his health seriously enough to me. You smashing weak porn stars and shit. Like,
freakbul, man. All right, man. Let's go ahead and move on. That's
one more thing. Shave that damn Karl Malone goatee off. That is nasty. Look like a pedophile. That's how I know he don't give a fuck about basketball, bro. Because why would you do that? He came back to work. He came back to work looking like an asshole.
Why you gotta say it like that?
That was just. It's just so unserious to me.
You look like a pedophile. It's crazy. It's crazy.
Karl Malone, pedophile.
That's crazy, man. Look, Malone was a pedophile. Zion just a freak nigga, G. There's a significant difference. G. Zion just a freak bull, G.
Yeah, he go bald. That's his son.
Hey, man. But let's go ahead, move on. Let's go into wrestling.
Did you want to talk about the Scottie Pippen situation again or no?
Wait, what's Scottie Pippen's situation?
He's starting off the year on bullshit again, bro. There's another podcast he was on. Every interview he does, he switches his stance up so much. It's like, what side of the fence are you on, bro? So for anybody that hasn't seen it, he was on this it's this guy named Patrick Bet-David, billionaire. He's on his podcast, business podcast or whatever. He was asking him questions about his relationship with Jordan, what he thinks about, or like what player he would start a franchise with between LeBron and himself and stuff like that. And it's just the levels of cap that Scottie Pippen has stooped to, bro. It's unfathomable. Because now it's like you saying, "Oh, me and Jordan were never friends like that" and stuff like that. Okay, cool, we get that. If that's really the truth, okay, cool, for whatever. But how do you go from saying a couple years ago he went from saying like LeBron James has always been better than him, like purposely putting Jordan down just to put LeBron up. Then he asks you a question about who you would start a franchise with. You tell the man. Then that's when he wanted to throw the 6 rings in, bro. I got 6 rings to his 4. Like Scottie, and we try not to disrespect Scottie because Scottie really was a great player. Like he really was. He could play in this era and be a great player, I believe. But in no way, shape, or form was Scottie the player offensively that LeBron was or is. In no time frame was he, bro. He really went on that podcast. I didn't even watch the whole thing. I just watched, and I didn't watch it in clips neither. I probably watched like the 30 minutes where that whole conversation was going on, and he was just spewing the same usual stuff. And it's like he keeps switching and flip-flopping his stance on who's better than this and what is his legacy and stuff like that. It's like, bro, what's really going on with Scottie Pippen? Like, what really happened? That's what I really want to know at this point. Like, what caused him to go on this path of just asinine, like deliberate, like you just ignoring like all types of like you just ignoring common sense in certain situations.
I think this is.
I don't get it.
I think I got the answer.
But let me tell you, once you die, most likely you're gonna go to hell because of all your lies. You managed.
Because of all your lies, Scottie. Stop lying.
I think it's simple as that, G. Like, the man just want to be a liar. And that type of lying is nasty, G. It really is. And it's just for me, this shows for what? The fact that it hasn't come across my timeline is crazy because I'm like, gee.
It just showed up on Monday, I believe.
Yes,
I think yesterday, so.
You got to factor in what all things that happened yesterday. The Orange Clown got inaugurated. Orange Clown got inaugurated. The Bears got a coach. So anything Scottie said was literally, remember, the Bears, anything Bears related, it's always going to be top Chicago sports news.
Yeah.
So if he said this Next week, okay, yeah, you know, it will be, you know, computers computing. This man said it during Inauguration Day, Martin Luther King Day. The Bears got a coach. National championship for college football. It went under the seams, G. So I was like, oh, he picked the right day. He picked the right day to do this, to say these things. These lies, these fabrications, you know. But anyway, with that said, yeah, I don't really have much else to say. I'm tired of Scotty G. That man be tweaking. But let's go ahead, go into wrestling for real this time. Once again, things like I said, it's really for this pod. We stretching topics, G, because we're in the slump towards the Rumble right now, and then I'm gonna be real honest. AEW is doing less and less things worth talking about, but I will sit there and say they did do something. They had the internet jumping again. They had the internet jumping again. So, and this is just something I've been getting new. I got wind of while I listened to another wrestling podcast this morning. That this happened yesterday. Once again, I was at work. The Bears got a coach. Inauguration Day, National College Football Championship. This was going to get swept under the rug. But wrestling fans, especially AEW people, they live in their own little world. So it's this notorious Twitter nutcase who's a AEW stan. I think his name Air Gold or something. If you in the internet wrestling community space, you will kind of be familiar with that name. I believe Datra blocked them on the Freeze from the Ring page. But either way, and for one, if Datra blocks you, that just means he hates what you say. But anyway, so this dude is a real huge AEW nut. Come to find out, he's a 17-year-old teenager. So factor in this, he's been an AEW stan. AEW existed since what, 2018?
2019.
So with that said, this man been standing AEW for 12 since he was 12 probably. But anyway, so supposedly he has like sources within the company, which once again, if this is true, why are anybody in that company talking to a teenager?
If he's that young and he really does have a source, he's probably related to somebody.
Got to.
And that probably makes it even worse.
Velveteen Dream. But if that part is true, who knows? But anyway, this man went bout to bout, blow for blow with Sean Ross Sapp. Now, once again, I've been critical of Sean Ross Sapp on this podcast. Do I still check his sources out? Yes, because he is him. If I had to pick between him and Meltzer in terms of believing things, I probably will listen to Sean Ross Sapp. I just think he's an asshole. It's just being true. And a bitch. Just being and just from all the things I've heard, it kind of further proves that Sean Ross Sapp is bitch. So, and because they were in Twitter spaces arguing back and forth and all of that about sources and stuff, misinformation, and I think Sean Ross Sapp called this teenage boy a pussy, and I was like, dog.
You can't even get that, bro.
That is insane.
Teenagers live to trigger you.
Yes, they do. But once again, I'm gonna be real honest. Once again, me being honest. Why is a teenage kid this deep in wrestling pandering is the issue? This is an example of Neanderthal behavior. This is an example of stan culture. This is an example of the fact that and this goes back to when I sit here and talk about them niggas who watch wrestling at 3 a.m. in the morning. No subtitles. Just straight watching and being amazed. This is the Americanized version of it. And even more sadder part, and you know the common denominator in all of this is, Tyler? Take a guess what the common denominator is.
Wait, repeat that. You kind of went in and out.
I'm sorry.
Audio-wise.
I said, the common denominator in people like this Air Gold person and the people who watch wrestling, Japanese wrestling, live, 2 a.m, no subtitles. There's a common denominator. I want you to tell me what that common denominator is or what you think that common denominator is.
The lack of women in their lives.
My nigga. This is why you my
women. When you're around women, you don't pander. You don't sit up on Twitter or the internet at all day and just be spewing bullshit and getting into random arguments that go nowhere, especially about wrestling. You just don't do that. You're around women, you're occupied.
Yeah. If you know the warmth, the touch of a woman, you would not do this. Now, I'm not sitting there saying that a teenage high school kid should be, experiencing a woman like that. Practice abstinence, all teenagers. I encourage.
Well, clearly, his mother don't love him or something.
But even then, your mom, the warmth of your mom loving you should be enough. A father figure, a platonic friendship. They will sit there and tell you, gee, put that shit down, take the garbage out, hop on Fortnite, nigga. Marvel Rivals is free.
Yes, very fun.
Look at Sue Storm, nigga. Look at Sue Storm, nigga. Shit. You over there arguing with people who legit Tony Khan do talk to. Now, there's proof that Tony Khan is feeding information to a teenage boy. Once again, this is, and I tweeted this, and I'm mad it didn't get traction. It is what it is. But Tony Khan's business sense is worse than his father's. His father could have had the chance to get Ben Johnson, #1 coaching candidate of this football offseason. But no, he ain't fired the GM. The worst GM in football. And they ain't get Ben Johnson. So if your daddy don't got the common sense to let people go, nor do you. You're probably worse. You're talking to fucking teenage boys about fucking wrestling. Freaking weirdo. But anyway, yeah, that was what's going on at AEW.
There's also something going on with Britt Baker. Apparently, she's not getting
that too,
TV time neither.
Yeah, so allegedly, Tony Khan's done with Britt Baker. She did something to really piss him off. All I'm gonna sit there and say is, hey, Britt Baker, I don't want to see you in WWE.
No.
I am good.
Use that dental degree.
Go ahead and check Miles. Check Miles, G. Check for cavities and stuff like that. You do not need to be in the WWE ring. Shoot, go to GCW. Go to freaking go to Impact. Have fun with Tessa. Have fun with Tessa, G.
Oh, she's just, to me, and I'll be honest, like nobody can carry her through a match. She's just not a good wrestler. Flat out.
At all.
Well, you can't even be carried through a match. Your skills are just not there.
Pretty much. Pretty much. But hey, but if she's going, salute. add her to at least this shows that for one, Tony Khan is willing to let people go now. At least certain people go. But whatever Britt Baker did, she must have did something. But we're going to start hearing
they said it stemmed from that incident she had a couple months ago backstage, apparently with MJF. And they said like since then it's just got progressively worse.
Hey, all I'm gonna sit there and say is it is what it is. And that's also nasty work because if I remember, MJF was the aggressor. Hey, Tony Khan, locker rooms don't look too safe, bucko. The locker rooms don't look too safe, man. Look, man, if a man can be the aggressor with a woman and she's the one getting penalized, the locker rooms don't look too safe, bucko. Hey, man. A little nasty work, though, but hey. AEW. But, hey. So, we'll see where things go with that. That's unfortunate. But, hey, as long as Malachi Black free, man, that's all that matters. So,
free.
My man's better be officially freed, man. But I don't see him at the Rumble. I need to hear that song, G. I need to hear that song.
Please let him be free. Just please let him be free.
Exactly. Triple H already got the contract set up and everything, G. He waiting. That's Triple H's boy. that man's H. That's what we say. He H. That man's legit H. But either way, yeah, so that's what's going on in AEW. Nothing significant TV wise happened last week. Everything is on the outside. Once again, that's how that company rolls. But let's move on. WWE and TNA announced a new deal.
Doing big things right now. Big things.
Exactly. I'll let you go ahead and talk about that. You hear me?
What'd you say?
I said I'll let you go ahead and talk about that.
Oh, so TNA and WWE announced a multi-year partnership. For right now, it states that it's really just between TNA and NXT talent. So expect NXT talent to be showing up on future NXT shows, pay-per-views, and vice versa. They're cooking it into full gear. Started over the weekend. Cora Jade popped up to challenge for one of the women's titles in TNA.
Yeah, she challenged Asha Slamovich.
I believe Axiom and Nathan Frazier are defending their tag team titles against the Rascals on TNA.
Yep.
And that's a live show, by the way. TNA, that show that's coming up is going to be live. What was the other? It was another WWE appearance, I believe, too. I forget, but basically they kicked it into full gear again. This past weekend at TNA Genesis. Good show, by the way. Joe Hendry became the new TNA World Heavyweight Champion, defeating Dolph Ziggler. So shout out to Joe Hendry. Well deserved. Jordan Grace wrestled her last under contract TNA match. She's expected to definitely. I expect her to be in that Rumble, guys. Expect her to be there. Fuck Tessa Blanchard. No, seriously, like I'm not even finna glaze over that. Like, fuck her. Don't nobody want her around, bro. I've never seen a event on TV where they have chanted, "You are racist." No, that's a bad look. That was terrible. That's a bad look. Like it wasn't even. That's legit. Go away heat.
Like they was like, gee, they was wild. Like for one, the fact that they even re-signed her, like, gee, let her.
I still don't understand.
W herself to death.
Like that somebody in that company gave her a favor.
So she had to, because there's no way that she should have done that. But that's their grave that they're gonna live with, you know. So
yeah. But right now is not hurting their deal with WWE, so I guess it's cool. Something else happened. As far as just with TNA, Josh Alexander lost the I Quit match to Mike is his name Mike Santana?
Yeah.
Mike Santana. He lost the I Quit match to Mike Santana. He also, I don't know if it's because I think his contract is coming up too, or is about to expire. But he, announced that he quit TNA over the weekend too.
Well, I don't say wait, Mike Santana or Josh
Alexander.
No, I heard he's just a free agent.
Oh, he's a free agent?
Yes.
Oh, okay, so he been working without a contract or something, or like a
I think his contract
by date contract
or it's expired.
Oh, okay. But that's an interesting situation too, because Josh Alexander, a really good wrestler. I wouldn't mind seeing him in WWE. I just don't. I wouldn't say. I don't know if he's re-signing with TNA just yet or not. I feel like right now, I wouldn't be so like outside of like specific names. I wouldn't be so happy-go-lucky to sign everybody. Like again, Josh Alexander is really good. I think he'd be a great talent to have under the WWE banner at some point. But it's not necessarily necessary unless he wants it right now. So,
agreed. I'm be honest. He should go WWE. Like if he has the common sense, look at what's going on in AEW right now. It's either you go back to TNA or you just go to WWE. With the WWE side of things, you go to NXT. NXT needs male talent.
Yeah,
really badly. So I wholeheartedly believe and hope that he do go to WWE. It makes sense if he's gonna entertain it.
Like if not, I would just stay with TNA because you're more likely gonna end up working with them anyway.
Exactly. But either way, like AEW does not need no more male talent. They don't need no more talent. At all.
Yeah, they need to figure out what they're going to do with the people that they got and make something work. Stop trying to just hoard pieces just to say you got them.
Exactly. Just send that nigga to ROH 3 weeks later. Yeah.
Another good news in wrestling. I think RVD announced it over the weekend. For anybody that doesn't remember, Chris Bay had a scary injury last year where he was paralyzed. They announced that he's not paralyzed anymore, so thank God for that. Well wishes to his recovery, his continued recovery. So that's a good sign right there. But as far as just to talk about the TNA deal with WWE just in general, like it's great for both sides. It's showing growth from the WWE standpoint, willing to work with other companies, specifically TNA for right now. And even just them, allowing other guys to go to they've had guys go over to GCW and do Bloodsport pay-per-view. They've let a couple guys like Shinsuke do special stuff, like when Great Muta was going to retire. He was on one of his retirement matches. Stuff like that is just showing good growth within the company and stuff like that. Anything that WWE does to help expand is good for the rest of the business also. So it's just a good look on both ends. I think it's really good for TNA. I think that their rebrand was a success, but this gives them a boost that I don't even think they know that they may have needed or wanted, but apparently they wanted it. So it's happening. So it's great for TNA. Like I feel like this extends. I wasn't necessarily before the rebrand. I was kind of on the fence with TNA. Like I didn't know how much longer they were really going to stick around. But I think that this deal helps them stick around for a while. Like I see this like.
No, go ahead.
I think this puts TNA in a space where they can grow back to a point where they can get a deal for themselves that helps them sustain talent, being able to pay them, the figures that they should be getting paid and that they are willing to pay them, hopefully they can get a better media rights deal, streaming or something like that, where they're on a bigger platform possibly, or even if they eventually work out some type of deal with WWE where they'll stream some of their stuff on their apps and stuff like that. But I just think overall it's just good for the biz. Like outside of we could talk about the wrestling part all day, but I feel like the most important part in this is really the business part, for both sides. Like it just extends a lifetime. Well, maybe not a lifetime, but it extends a lot of time for a company that is rebranding and headed back in an upward direction. Because I was listening to another podcast a couple of days ago where they were talking. Some people were talking about like how back in like 2016, like when a lot of guys were leaving TNA. Back in like 2015, 2016, like it was getting to the point where it was bad. You literally lost all of your top stars for one reason or another. But part of it was because they couldn't afford to pay, every single one of those guys, the figures that they were getting. Like AJ, guys like AJ, Samoa Joe, Bobby Roode, Kurt Angle.
Yeah,
they were getting
like AJ. They were pleading the league because they just
and then it was like stuff going on with the company backstage that just wasn't making sense, anymore. Yeah. So it was time for certain guys to move on and seek greener pastures at that point in time. But it's just good to see that they're back in a position where guys actually want to be in TNA. Good things are said about TNA. I know they've had like a couple mishaps within the last year or two, obviously. Guys like that were really fond of Scott D'Amore. He's potentially, shopping around for a position, either with WWE. They say he was at NXT recently. And he's also been at AEW too. So, the wrestling community, as far as like the wrestlers, a lot of people speak highly of him. But they weren't happy that he got the boot. So, and then, like we already touched on the Tessa Blanchard situation. I don't know what's going on with that. Kind of don't care. But for the most part, like they've done a good rebrand. They've got people in there that people want to see. You got Dolph Ziggler to come over. You got the Hardy Boys back. You got Ali to come over there. You still have guys like Moose. You still had Josh Alexander, Jordan Grace. You still have people that people are willing to pay to see. So it's always a good thing to be able to retain meaningful names.
Definitely agree. And the thing is, I'm always applaud Impact for lasting as long as it has, because you got to think about it.
It's hard, bro.
It's tough. I think they started as when they were like
they were NWA TNA.
I think that was 2002, 2003.
2002.
Like pretty much immediately after the death of WCW. So I want to say 2001 or 2002 around. I want to say 2002. I want to say I don't feel like looking it up, but
it was 2002.
Okay, so they've existed legit for 23 years. G. So with tons of different changes and all of that in terms of ownership, backstage, who's running things, and even each time it looked dim, hey, they restarted, refreshed, and they still exist. So with that said, I'm happy that it still exists. Like they're working with WWE. They have a good relationship with WWE, and I hope it do continue to grow when it comes to that aspect. So like I'm happy that they still around. Somebody who's been watching the product since I want to say when I found it on what was it?
Spike.
Yes, in FSN Sports. No, it was before Spike. I was
right. It was on
it was like FSN Fox Sports Network or whatever. Yeah. One of them channels. TSN, Fox Sports Network, one of them. I was watching it off that. And so I'm happy they still exist and that they just continuously dealt with the losses. Like it's a prime example of seeing a legit indie company know they role. Yeah, you could tell they try to compete with WWE at times, especially at that point. It's some of the WWE's low points in the mid 2000s.
Yeah, because
But
they definitely had the roster to give a great alternative at that
yeah,
time. Like
and it
they
definitely
definitely
was.
had a great run,
So,
and I loved it.
but even then, it's like unfortunately Hulk Hogan and them said we're going to screw it up, brother, and did such work, but they still survived, because they played their role. And I think once again, Tony Khan can learn. You can learn.
Yeah, because they learned they had to downsize to smaller venues, and they were still selling out shows during that transition period where it was where they went from when it was only Impact, it wasn't TNA anymore.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, they can learn. But let's go ahead and move on. On the wrestling side, well, on the wrestling side, the WWE side of things. Saturday night main event is this weekend. But before we get to that, let's talk about a couple significant storylines that's going on. This past, I swear, I'm never working a Sunday again. My week is totally thrown off. But yeah, yesterday, Monday, Raw was pretty cool. Bailey, it is the first official transfer we saw.
Yep.
Up this trade transfer portal thing. So Bailey is on Raw now. She had a match against Nia Jax for some odd reason, who's a SmackDown person. She lost said match.
I think they might end up moving. I think Nia might end up getting moved to Raw, maybe after the Rumble.
Possibly, we'll see. But we'll see where things go with that. But shout out to Bailey. Makes sense. In a way where things about to go, because Big Charlotte coming back, man.
Yeah.
Big Charlotte coming, man. I told y'all, G. But yeah. So overall, shout out to Bailey. In regards to that, but I will say this. I said this on the pod last week. I think I said it briefly, but Finn and Dom is about the next. The fall of Judgment Day is really about to happen. The Finn is going to whoop Dom ass in the near future.
Yeah,
I don't know if it's going to make Dom a face. If that's your path for getting Dom to be a face again, I will cry tears. But when Finn and Dom fight for control of the Judgment Day, G, it's going to be super interesting. Because when Dom sat there and said, "Hey, let me and JD," because I don't know where Finn is, take over and try to get the tag titles back, Finn is going to take that as, "What you doing, fella? You're not the diamond. I'm the diamond." Like, hey, look, man. This is going to be the true fall of the Judgment Day right there when that happens. But but your thoughts on that little dynamic of what's going on with the Judgment Day right now?
I definitely agree. I believe Finn and Dom are gonna butt heads, and I think Finn comes out whooping his ass and moving on and saying, "Forget this, screw you and your girlfriend that don't really love you for real." I don't see Dom becoming a face just yet, even after Finn beats him, because I feel like people still love Finn. People want to boo Dominic. So I think, and even after that, I don't know what exactly turns Dominic face just yet, if that's the route that they're going. Because even I think Liv probably breaks up with him by WrestleMania, or maybe on the way to WrestleMania, and then Dom, ends up being on his own possibly, which I think the start of that, I think that's a good storyline, is Dom's going back into a solo role for the later half of 2025 and seeing where he goes with that. But I don't see him as a face. I think Dominic is a really good heel. I think he needs to continue with that, because it's not like Dominic as a heel has gotten dry. Now, I will say the whole girlfriend dynamic part has kind of ran its course, which is why I think they need to have Liv drop him soon. But I think he can be a solid heel going into the post Mania. Like, I definitely see him being in a mid card spot where he's challenging for a couple belts. I don't think he wins anything this year just yet, but I definitely see him in a spot where they're building him.
Because if I think Judgment Day goes to SmackDown, I think, but if you do send them to SmackDown,
I think Finn and JD go over there.
I think they stay. To be honest, they stay.
It depends because we still don't know outside of like Cody, Roman, and Punk, we don't know everybody that they're going to be swapping post Mania to
Cody's getting moved. Yeah, I think it's just mainly Roman right now. Roman and Punk is going to hold it down. Because USA,
I think Cody should stay on because it'd be kind of bogus to take Cody and Roman and just throw them on Raw.
Exactly, keep them away from each other at this time being.
Yeah,
but, especially if they both faces. But I think if you can put Cody in a situation where Dom in a situation where he is fighting for the mid card title.
Yeah, I definitely see it.
I see his first mid card title being the US title. It makes sense. It goes and it kind of because wasn't Ray's first not outside of the cruiserweight. Wasn't his first mid card title US title, if I recall correctly?
No, his first mid card title in WWE was the Intercontinental Championship.
Not cruiserweight, not counting cruiserweight. Fuck that.
No, that's what I'm saying. Outside of the cruiserweight, it was the Intercontinental. He won that before. He won that a couple times before he won the US. He didn't win the US belt until he came back for his second run.
Oh, okay. I wasn't sure. Okay. Just need that confirmation because I could have sworn because with him being on SmackDown all the time, SmackDown had the US title.
SmackDown had the from like 09 to like 2011, the Intercontinental Championship was on SmackDown. Because remember, him and Chris Jericho had a really good feud for the belt. He won it from JBL at WrestleMania 25. JBL quit again, and then him and Jericho had a nice feud.
I'm about to just look it up, and I just want for clarity's sake. Titles. Let's see. Okie dokie here. Shout out to the cage match. All right here. Cruiserweight, tag team, world. Yep, dang. So his first non-tag team belt was in cruiserweight was the heavyweight title. IC. Yeah, damn, you right.
Yep.
Okay. After the man murdered somebody in cold blood.
Don't speak on that, G.
Yeah, that man then proceeds to still do the 619 consistently. I know what I saw.
But going back to Dom, like I definitely see him challenging, being in that upper mid card spot. I wouldn't be surprised if he does end up getting the title this year. Like it still wouldn't be bad. Dom's, he's still he can still be a little bit better in the ring, but he's not bad. He's definitely way better than where he was.
You got to remember, this man came a significantly long.
But I would kind of like for them to. I like what his personality is right now, but I would kind of like them to shift it a little bit, like a little less Eddie, maybe a little bit more Filthy Animals Ray. Because if you want to go that route, then I could see him being a face eventually.
That was really the only time Ray was heel, by the way.
And people loved him loved him in that role.
Exactly.
And he was only a heel because the NWO made him a heel. They said, "We taking your mask."
I mean, he was still a face for a little bit.
Yeah, from what I remember with the Filthy Animals,
like they were tweeners. They were tweeners. As a WCW Filthy Animal stand, they were tweeners at points. They was really truly heels when Disco Inferno was with them.
I forgot about that.
That was the nasty part, unfortunately. But that was really a nasty time. Really nasty. But Anyway, but yeah, they were tweeners, but they were heels at one point. Then they became tweeners. That's probably the best way to describe that whole process.
And to be honest, you really don't need Dom as a face. You don't need him as a face right now. I think
the moment he turns face is going to be a generational moment. It's like one of those, like, oh damn,
yeah,
no, because it's like he's really at this point a really beloved heel. He's really great at it.
Yeah, so and that's something that outside of like a Drew, like you need to keep some of those, like a face like that. I mean, a heel like that, you need to keep him around a little bit longer.
Yeah, so it's like,
because again, it's not stale. People want to boo him.
Exactly, he does a great job being disliked, and this is the only time we're ever going to get a Mysterio being heel in the WWE. So we need to enjoy it.
Yeah,
really. But let's go ahead and move on. Let's go ahead and get our preview of Saturday night's main event, and we're going to go ahead and wrap this episode up. I just had that card up. I'm really mad.
I know it by heart.
Okay, now I get it. Okay. All right. So once again, if you remember how the last Saturday's night main event went, it was quick, efficient, and out the way. Very much out. So right now the card is Rhea versus Nia Jax for the women's championship. Braun Breaker versus Sheamus. Braun Strowman versus Jacob Fatu. And the main event being Gunther versus Jey Uso. Let's go ahead and do how our favorite
and
thing.
We also have a KO and Cody Rhodes contract signing with Shawn Michaels being the mediator. So that's fun, and I'm glad that they added that, because that's like a classic thing to do at a Saturday night's main event.
Definitely agree. So let's go ahead and try to predict the card. I believe they open this up with Rhea versus Nia Jax. Should be a decent little sprint for these two powerhouses. Rhea wins, clearly.
Rhea wins. I think Nia Jax gets a significant lick in where it kind of lets her know, like, I'm not finished chasing you, but I got to try to win this Rumble.
Yeah. So Rhea wins. Then we have, let's go ahead, Braun versus Jacob Fatu. This is a really good way. It's interesting, especially how SmackDown's been the last couple of weeks, and then just last Friday SmackDown with pretty much Jacob and them jumping everybody, and then what's his name? Solo comes out, looks crazy, don't want to talk, walks out. And I'm just sitting there, I'm like, and then Jacob proceeds to just sit there and just cuts a promo and all of that, just so we get Braun Strowman versus Jacob. But this is just a good way to just make Jacob look good in a non-bloodline situation. But Jacob wins. Jacob
wins. I do think that they try to really hurt Braun after that match, though.
I think it's just Jacob, because Jacob's gonna just win clean and then they move on. Move on from it. Like, you might get another rematch on SmackDown. That's where they do the entry.
Makes sense.
Then I feel like that's where we get our Braun Breaker versus Sheamus match. Braun Breaker wins.
I got Braun winning. Honestly, I really do kind of hope that this storyline for Sheamus culminates in him getting the belt at WrestleMania.
Or before. It
depends. If he beats Braun before then, I would rather he lose it to Ludwig Kaiser at Mania. I think Ludwig Kaiser is another guy, another up and coming heel that that he's definitely going to be a major player at some point. And I think that's the start of it, and I think that's the unless you do another triple threat, because I doubt that you're gonna have like a major match for Braun at Mania.
Got to. When the last time Braun wrestled, by the way?
Huh?
When the last time this nigga had a match?
I think it was before the year was up.
Yeah, because I feel like forever.
He's appeared on the last couple Raws. He just hasn't wrestled
he's
yet.
Been on TV, but that man has not wrestled. I don't recall.
I think a lot of people have been talking about like the way certain people have been booked on Raw specifically lately. Like, I think that was another thing I want to talk about. Is like the timing for Raw is kind of off in a way.
Yeah, I think things is going to start simmering down after this week because you want the first 2-3 Netflix episodes to be on.
And there hasn't been any bad shows yet. Like, don't get me wrong.
Yeah, no, I think you just trying.
But it's just, I feel like they're just trying to figure out how to place everybody that they want to be placed, within the time frame. Because did they go? I didn't watch it all the way through. I just caught it in parts yesterday when I was watching it. But did they go all the way 3 hours, or was it just 2?
I don't remember.
Or was it 2.5?
I really skimmed. So,
because like the week before, I think it was just 2.5.
Yeah, last week was 2.5. The first one was legit 3. So yeah. I'm not sure. I just skimmed. I didn't even really pay attention to the time when I was skimming through it. So I own up to that. But I think Sheamus will end up getting the belt down the line. I think it's gonna be before Mania. I believe before, and then I think the IC title is gonna be the one that's gonna be on the ladder at Mania.
I wouldn't be mad at that. I wouldn't be mad at another IC title ladder match. I think that's a good way to get it off him if he does win it before.
Yeah. Then that's where I think we'll get the contract signing with KO and Cody. There will be a lot of shit talking. And Kevin Owens will try to power drive somebody.
Yeah.
Like, that's how I think it ends, with somebody almost getting power driver, but so
I really do like this storyline. I just wish that it was gonna end with KO keeping that belt, at least for a pay-per-view or so.
It would make so much sense. I would love it, honestly.
And it's still a possibility they really could be swerving us right now, and he does walk out with that belt. But history shows the person walking around with the belt that don't really have it ain't keeping it.
Exactly. It's the classic wrestling trope. It's one of those tropes that we don't see too often, so people can't just sit there and be like, oh. But no,
yeah, like it's still right now it's fresh because it hasn't been done in a long time.
Exactly. So, especially in the fact he's just holding a wing title too. That's what makes it funnier. It's not Cody's belt. Even though that is the belt Cody loves, but it's the fact that he's been holding that joint. It said, "Look, I ain't giving it back. I don't like that guy. I don't like Cody. Screw him." So, but yeah, but that should be interesting. Then, of course, we get the main event where Gunther carries Jey Uso through another 4-star match carried by a legendary Big Goon himself. Let's play our favorite game. How does Gunther end this match?
I think he's winning by submission this time. He pinned him the last time they fought. I think he wins by submission.
You can have one of your top faces tap out, G.
You did it before.
When?
Who did he make tap out? He made
a top face. I'm talking top face and not getting choked out. There's a difference.
Or maybe he choke him out. I think he wins by submission though.
Okay, but what's the combination? Gunther wins by combinations.
It's a new year, so maybe he switched it up a little bit. He might. I don't know, because what did he do last time? What did he do in his last match?
I really forgot, honestly. I got to go back and look.
I mean, this is just how good Gunther is, bro. He got a new combination every match.
That's what makes this segment fun. How Gunther finishes the nigga. G. Pause.
You know what? Depending on what's gonna happen, if he has a championship match at the Rumble, he may end this match with a spear and a sharpshooter. I think it's power bomb. I think he's gonna counter one of Jey Uso's finishers. Probably power bombs him or just chops the shit out of him. Sets up for a spear and then put that man in the sharpshooter.
I like that. I think this is what I see. I like it. Now I know I just said he might not make him tap out. That's why I said that. But choking out is different. Because most niggas, when you choke out, they just get knocked out. There's a difference between tapping and just being choked out. This is what's going to happen. Jay does the spear. Then he goes for the Uso splash. Knees up. Does the splash himself, the Gunther splash. But it looks more high flying. So imagine this big
full body spread eagle.
Pause. Extreme pause with that one. So imagine Gunther just doing an Uso splash. Alright. He does the Uso splash. And then he twirls rolls over and choke that nigga out.
Bruh. A splash into a sleeper is crazy.
Splash into a super be golden, G. I don't care if this nigga's gold, G.
That'd be fire.
That would be raw, G. Please, 2K25, please, G. Please give us the ability to do Gunther combinations finishes, G. That would make the game raw as hell. Give me that ability to just be like, hey, you got like 3 finishes. Go ahead and line that shit up.
Right.
Oh man. But yeah, that should be a good match. It should be a decent match. Like Gunther can have a good match against this goddamn box here. Like he can have geez, that's just how raw he is. So that's what I expect overall. But yeah, no, Roman's supposed to be on Raw next Monday as well. So Roman should be making his return to Raw. So that should be dope to see. Is there anything else we need to really hit on right
now? Outside of Saturday night's main event, early predictions for the Rumble.
Man, too early. Way too early. Way too damn early. Like, just know this is gonna be a great Rumble.
I don't have a. Yeah, I think this has the potential to be an all-time Rumble.
Yeah, like this is gonna be up there one of them Rumbles, especially we haven't had one of them ones in a while. So it'll be interesting to see what it be.
Women's too. I think the women's Rumble match is gonna be pretty stacked.
That's gonna be crazy. Like both Rumbles is really gonna be the most stacked in a long time, honestly. So
yeah, because like just so far, just with the 2 Rumble matches and the ladder match, that's already enough to make it a solid pay-per-view.
Agreed. But yeah, but let's go ahead and wrap this up. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe to the Tweeking Media YouTube channel. Make sure you check out all our content we got on there. Cam been hitting you guys with the Gotcha on the Gotcha content. I know we haven't recorded Attack on Culture, but work schedule's been asked, but we'll be back at it this week. So definitely check that out when that drops next week. check us out on Twitter at 3s from the Ring, 3S from the Ring. Follow us on the Facebook page, Tweeking Media. Same for the IG page. I will start posting content on there as well. And of course, check out TikTok. Yo, TikTok back, man. He was only gone for 12 hours. But yeah, check us out on TikTok at Tweeking Media, UTM Clips, for clips of all the shows and stuff that we got as well. We appreciate you guys for checking us out, supporting the brand, and peace.
Peace.